In today's world, we wear busyness like a badge of honor. Our calendars are packed, our to-do lists are never-ending, and the pressure to constantly produce and perform feels overwhelming. We're told that the key to success is to always be busy, to hustle, grind, and work non-stop. But as we push ourselves harder and harder, something starts to happen. We burn out. The exhaustion isn't just physical, but mental too. And somehow, in the rush of our constant activity, we begin to lose sight of the meaning behind it all. Have you ever felt guilty for resting? Or perhaps found yourself unable to slow down because the fear of not being productive gnaws at you? This is the modern culture of productivity. It glorifies doing, but forgets the importance of being. We measure our worth by how much we accomplish, not by the quality of our effort or the depth of our rest. But what if there's another way? What if instead of seeing rest as a luxury or a sign of weakness, we could see it as a vital part of living a meaningful life? Enter Stoicism, a philosophy that redefines our relationship with effort, rest, and purpose. Stoicism teaches us that true freedom doesn't come from endless busyness, but from embracing a sense of balance. It challenges the notion that more is always better, and instead offers us a framework to navigate life with intention and mindfulness. As Seneca wisely said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. In other words, it is not the lack of time that burdens us, it is how we choose to use it." The key isn't to fill every moment with activity, but to be present in what we do. Stay with us through this journey, because the best part is yet to come. And if you know someone who could benefit from Stoic wisdom, share this video with them. Let's take a moment to reflect on one of Seneca's most powerful quotes. "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." At first glance, this might seem like a simple observation, but it speaks volumes about how we live today. In our constant pursuit of productivity, we often forget to live. We rush through our days, checking off tasks and ticking boxes, but at what cost? We fill our lives with activity, yet somehow feel emptier than ever. This is the paradox that modern life presents. We work so hard to build something, but sometimes forget to stop and appreciate what we've built, or more importantly, who we've become in the process. In the context of mental exhaustion, Seneca's words remind us that time is our most valuable resource, yet we squander it when we overcommit ourselves and let guilt take over when we take a step back. If we continue to push ourselves beyond reason, we risk losing not only our energy but our sense of purpose. As you reflect on this quote, think about your own life. Are you truly living, or are you merely rushing through the motions? What could you achieve if you gave yourself permission to pause, to rest, and to reset? Seneca's quote is a powerful reminder that time is precious not because it's limited, but because we often squander it by filling it with distractions and unnecessary activity. Our obsession with constant productivity, driven by the modern culture of doing more, leads to mental exhaustion and burnout. And in this cycle, we miss out on the very thing we're trying to accomplish: meaning and fulfillment. In today's world, we are constantly surrounded by messages that encourage us to do more, achieve more, and be more. We see people on social media achieving success after success, and it's easy to feel that our worth is tied to our productivity. But Stoicism teaches us a different perspective. It isn't the quantity of things we do that matters, it is the quality and the intentionality behind them. Think about it. How often do you find yourself rushing through tasks just to check them off your list, rather than focusing on doing them well? How often do you push yourself to keep working even when your body and mind are screaming for rest? simply because you feel guilty for taking a break. Stoicism frames this entire way of thinking. It tells us that true strength lies not in constant hustle, but in the wisdom to know when to act and when to pause. The dichotomy of control, a fundamental Stoic principle, reminds us that there are things in life we can control, like our thoughts, our actions, and our responses to external events, and things we cannot control, like the expectations of others, the economy, or how many hours are in a day. When we understand this, we free ourselves from the trap of trying to control everything. We stop feeling guilty for resting because we recognize that rest, like work, is a choice we make for our well-being and productivity. It is a tool for renewal, not a sign of weakness. Let me ask you this. What would it feel like to let go of the guilt of rest? To give yourself permission to pause, recharge, and come back stronger? Could you focus more on what's truly important, on doing things with intention, rather than filling your time with endless tasks? Stoicism is not about avoiding work or being lazy. It's about having the wisdom to understand when to work and when to rest. It's about creating space for both action and reflection, and finding balance in the process. To truly understand the Stoic approach to mental exhaustion and productivity, we must first embrace the idea that life is not a race to see who can accomplish the most. The Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, remind us that our time on earth is finite, and it is up to us to make the most of it mindfully, wisely, and with purpose. At the heart of this is the concept of amor fati, or the love of fate. In the context of burnout and mental exhaustion, this Stoic principle invites us to embrace all aspects of life, including the need for rest, as part of our journey. Rather than seeing rest as something to feel guilty about, we can learn to see it as an essential part of the process, just as vital as the moments of action. The challenge lies in accepting the necessity of both rest and effort in our lives, and recognizing that the value of our time doesn't come from its constant filling with tasks, but from how we use it with intention. Let's talk about the 4 cardinal virtues in Stoicism: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These virtues offer us a clear pathway toward navigating modern life without succumbing to the pressures of constant busyness. Wisdom teaches us to choose how we spend our time wisely. Rather than blindly following the societal norms of hustle culture, we use our wisdom to evaluate what truly matters and what doesn't. We question our own assumptions about productivity. Is this task truly important? Or is it just something we've been taught to value? We stop measuring our worth by how busy we are, and instead focus on how much value we create through our actions. Courage isn't just about facing fear or adversity. It's also about having the courage to pause and say no when necessary. It's about setting boundaries for ourselves and others. In a world where everyone is pushing for more, it takes courage to stand firm in your need for rest and self-care. The courage to prioritize your mental health, to take a step back, and to trust that your worth isn't measured by how much you do in a day. Justice in this context involves recognizing the balance between giving to others and giving to yourself. Being just means not only working for the benefit of others, but also ensuring that you are treating yourself fairly. This means honoring your need for rest and recognizing that, just like everyone else, you deserve time to recharge. When we neglect our own needs, we cannot be fully present for others, and that imbalance can lead to burnout. Temperance teaches us moderation. In the face of modern pressures, it's easy to fall into extremes, either overworking ourselves or completely avoiding responsibility. Stoicism invites us to practice temperance, to approach both work and rest with balance. We don't push ourselves to exhaustion, but neither do we allow ourselves to waste time in idle distractions. Instead, we focus on the things that matter and make intentional space for rest as a means to sustain our efforts. In practical terms, What does this look like? It starts with small, intentional steps. Each day, take a moment to ask yourself, what is within my control today? How can I approach my tasks with mindfulness? What will truly help me grow today? And where can I afford to rest and recharge? Here are a few practical steps you can integrate into your daily life. Create boundaries around your work. Set clear start and stop times for your workday, and stick to them. This helps to protect your time and energy, ensuring you have space to rest. Prioritize your tasks. Not all tasks are created equal. Identify what truly matters, and tackle those first. Eliminate or delegate what's not essential. Schedule regular breaks. Just as you schedule work, schedule time for rest. Whether it's a 5-minute walk, a quick meditation session, or just stepping away from your desk. Take regular breaks to recharge. Practice mindfulness. Be present in whatever you're doing, whether it's working or resting. When you're working, focus fully on the task at hand. When you're resting, embrace it fully, without guilt. Reflect on your day. At the end of each day, take a moment to reflect on how you spent your time. Did you waste it on tasks that didn't matter? Did you allow yourself enough time to rest and recharge? By applying these Stoic practices, you will begin to see that time spent in rest is just as valuable as time spent working. It's all part of the same cycle of growth, reflection, and action. As we wrap up, let's return to the central idea. Time is our most precious resource, and how we choose to spend it shapes the quality of our lives. The modern world encourages us to fill every moment with productivity, to be busy, to hustle, and yet this constant motion often leaves us mentally exhausted and disconnected from what truly matters. Stoicism offers a profound reframe. It reminds us that rest is not a luxury. It is a vital part of a meaningful life. By embracing both effort and rest with intention, we can achieve a balance that leads to greater well-being, purpose, and peace of mind. As Seneca wisely said, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Let us not waste our time by endlessly chasing after more, but instead focus on what truly adds value, living with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. So today, I encourage you to ask yourself, what is in my control today? How can you apply Stoic wisdom in your own life to create a better balance between work and rest? Can you let go of the guilt associated with taking time for yourself and embrace the power of pause? Remember, life is not what happens to us, but how we choose to react to it. You have the power to shape your thoughts, your actions, and your destiny. Let Stoicism guide you on this journey, if you haven't already. Don't forget to hit subscribe and stay with us as we continue exploring Stoic wisdom. And please, share your thoughts with me in the comments below. Let us discuss how we can all apply these principles in our daily lives.